Hello! We are going to look for more lore. Taseron. 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 I cannot even remember these kind of names. That's an Aeons name? Where is the databank? Here's the databank. Aeons. Oh, we have something about everyone. Here, this one, the propagation. We have to read that then. Also, now we know that there are insects following this thing, or control, I don't know. Hurry and shut your doors and windows if shadows appear at the noontide horizon, for that is no early dusk, but the hungering swarm. Oh no, this one has something to do with insects. Oh, this one is my nightmare then. Fables About the Stars by Adrian Spencer Smith. Taseron, that's just what I'm going to call it for now. Or Tay, let's just call it Tay. Also known as the Imperator Insectorum. We don't have to Google to know that it's about insect. Oh gosh, no. The Sand King and the creator of the swarm disaster. As the last member of the Coleoptera that rules the land, their path was ignited out of a desire born from loneliness. Tay metamorphosed into a self-duplicating horror. Oh, this one literally sounds like my worst nightmare. A torrent of infinite propagation. Tay... Wait, that's... No, Taseron, rather, floated across the world until their advances were halted by fate in some way. Wait, so this one is basically not one body, but... many? No. Then I have to obviously read about the swarm too. I really don't like this one. But hey, I mean, I wanted to read all about the Aeons anyway, so... Let's get sidetracked. I might get sidetracked a lot today, especially. I feel like getting sidetracked today. Human desires are complex, twisted, and even ugly. By contrast, the aesthetics of the swarm and legion are so pure. It's admirable. Some scientists before he went mad. Life is born of an instinctive desire to reproduce, and the senses and spirit are only unintended byproducts, created when carrying out the basic instinct of reproduction. Those who don't submit to their primal desire claim to be wise, unaware that they are already considered food for the offspring of Tay, Imperator Insectorum, the Aeon of propagation, the father of the swarm. Okay, since I'm still not too smart, let me I cannot write. Propagation. I need meaning for every word that I don't know necessarily. Okay. Okay, I think I kind of get breeding of specimens of a plant or animal by natural processes from the parent stock. The action of widely spreading and promoting an idea. Nope, it's definitely the first one. Okay, something specimen, something scary, something... yeah. The father of the swarm. The multitudes of the swarm king's offspring can cover the starry night, their antenna long enough to measure the galaxy. Worlds fearfully call the self-replicated chaos as the swarm. Spirit, soul, technology, philosophy. In the thousand compound eyes of Tay, the universal laws pursued by all intelligent races are but a side effect of the ultimate goal of reproduction. The swarm doesn't seek a following by higher races, for worship itself is an unnecessary desire. Only the flying creatures that succumb to the primal instinct will be attracted to the self-replicating primordial tide, transforming to be part of the swarm after becoming its food. Even without their god, the swarm continues expanding at an incalculable rate, bringing fear and disaster to worlds chosen as their nests. Man, I can't wait to meet the swarm. That'll be fun. So there are no humans within that, right? It's more about the literal bug-like creatures that exist anyway, I guess? Or, I mean, maybe... I mean, some people seemingly went mad, so maybe people can kind of still turn into follows. I don't know. Anyway, let's read more. I'm into reading right now. Maybe we'll read a few and then we'll go back to memories and stuff. Path doesn't close when an Aeon is gone. Yeah, but did it say why it's gone? Or is it literally just because it was an insect and it's not invincible? Or not immortal, I should say? I mean, I don't want to meet the swarm, that's all I know. Akivili. Countless shooting stars streak across the night sky. If you can pick the right one, it will carry your wish to thousands of distant worlds. Fables About the Stars by Adrian Spencer Smith. It's the same person, right? Doesn't explain it, sadly. Then I'm really curious if it even is gone, or if something happened. Surely there is more lore. There are 3 directions on the compass of destiny: the unknown, the known, and the unknowable. They can tolerate the unknown, but will never bow to the unknowable. Akivili left the isolated world of Pegana and continued to expand the unknown edges of the universe, trying to find an endpoint of the tree of existence. Unfortunately, Akivili's destiny was abruptly ended due to an accident. I feel like we shouldn't click to all the related entries, but also I feel like we should. Would anyone mind? I hope not. And also, maybe it's for the ones that don't like reading but don't mind listening. Yeah. Also, I know I won't read it on my own because I don't mind reading and I like reading, but I don't know. Astral Express Trailblaze. Choo-choo! Sit tight, no one fight, warp jump, watch your head, choo-choo seatbelt, fasten up, buffet cars speeding up. Astral Express safety instructions. Pom-pom version. I need to know more about Pom-pom. After the fall of Akivili, the Aeon of Trailblaze, their trailblazing will was inherited by their followers, the Nameless, including the Astral Express that the Aeon once rode on. However, as the cancer of all worlds continued to spread, the star rails that the Express runs on also fell victim. The Express could barely move before the blight descended, and had no choice but to run aground when the rails became overly obstructed. It remained so for many years, until a girl with red hair discovered the desolate Express. She was fascinated by the worldless stories the engine and the star rails had in store. She spent countless hours repairing the cracks and evening the dents, restoring the Express to its original form. The curious girl then set foot into the Express and began her trailblazing voyage that surveys the galaxy. So she was literally just curious? Huh. The Astral Express made stops at every station, with passengers boarding and exiting along the way, exiting along the way. Many join and leave the Express's journey. The travelers come from different worlds, shoulder different burdens, and head to different destinations. However, while they are on the Astral Express, they would share the same voyage. That is why Himiko and the Express do not hesitate to open the doors to anyone willing to share this magical experience. Regardless of their agendas and intentions. Ooh, that's really interesting. Interesting, the Stellaron Hunters are sorted with the Nameless. Wait, really? It's strange because every other faction is sorted with an Aeon. Huh. Oh. You're... I mean, it's technically with who knows what, right? I mean, Okay, wait. We will... But that's the thing, regardless of their agendas and intentions. Also, what are the Stellaron Hunters really after? If they are just hunting Stellarons, and they take the Stellarons from the places where they're dangerous, it wouldn't be too bad. The thing is, I don't think we really know what they want to achieve, right? So, we have to get sidetracked. But also, that's another thing. Because after Sampo's fourth wall breaking scene, right? Where he talked about, hope you enjoyed the show and stuff, and to the mysterious person, say hi to the people in the tavern and stuff. I assumed he was part of the Stellaron Hunters, because that was the only faction that I kind of placed into the unknown for me. But I saw a little theory video that was like, wait, Joy and entertainment are something that one Aeon does enjoy and one faction is known for. And that is the Masked Fools. Which means he's not a Stellaron hunter, probably, but he's with the followers of Aha? Maybe? Because it sounded like it made a lot of sense for me. It is still just a theory, but I feel like it makes so much sense because Sample was like, he was literally talking in a way that seemed like he was just on a play, like he put on a play, and he even said something like, oh, I don't have to be the main character, I'm just there for comedic relief. So I personally think that is a freaking good theory, and I think it would make a lot of sense if that's the case. I can see Sample following Aha. Same! That's the reason. I think that might really be it, but of course we will read about them. Hopefully the Masked Fools too, because I'm now more curious about Aha than ever, and I was already way too curious. Stellaron Hunter, question marks. Blade, Silverwolf, Sam. I don't think I know a Sam. Closely references Epsilon, which is one of the Aha fraction's description. I haven't read that yet, but that was, I think, also a reason listed in the theory video. But because I haven't read the data entries, I didn't know that. So that's why I hope I will even get more stuff when we read this, because I feel like I don't want to go blind into the main stories with no further knowledge. I'm not used to there being so much knowledge already. So that's also a thing. Also, I think Aha's faction, I mean the Masked Fools, they also have some taverns all over the galaxy. I think that was also a thing. It would make sense, and I would be very, very excited if that's the case. Also, he's not from Balabok, which I mean, it was kind of obvious at that point when he talked like that. But he said he doesn't want to leave yet, or he doesn't see the need to leave yet. But that could also mean that we will meet him later in the main story again and are like, wait, weren't you on Yarrow 6? What are you doing here? So that could be a foreshadowing for us meeting him again, and I hope so. Still, I don't know Sam yet, which, curious. The four mentioned above, dead or alive, do not hurt the Destiny's slave, and do not let them lose their ability of independent thinking. A wanted notice put out by the Interstellar Peace Corporation. I can never say that word. That's still a really interesting wanted poster. Do not let them lose their ability of independent thinking. I mean, we know that they kind of follow Elio's script, so that could be because of... Or the wanted thing could say that because of they follow Elio's script. What does Elio want? Who is Elio? In a quiet moment in time, the cancer of all worlds began to cause ripples across the stars, like a rock tossed into a pool of water. Before anyone noticed, this twisted and unknown matter had already corrupted a great number of worlds, but resplendent and mesmerizing gems accompanied this corrosive mud, gems known as the Stellarons. Okay, but this is already kind of interesting, because here it is more like, oh, the Stellarons accompanied this corrosive mud. Well, where do we know corrosive mud from? Gee, I wonder. Chasm. Death and despair followed wherever Stellarons went. For many civilizations who have experienced the disasters it brings, Stellarons are symbols of destruction. However, despite the Stellarons' nature, there emerged the fearless few who travel between the worlds to obtain Stellarons. They call themselves the Stellaron Hunters. No one knows anything about the Stellaron Hunters aside from what they have done. Which Aeon do they worship? What do they want with Stellarons? With the galaxy filled with rumors about them, only one thing is for certain. Though the Stellaron Hunters are few in numbers, each of them holds incredible capacities and powers. Oh, that's just so interesting. Oh, okay, let's go back to the Nameless. Wait, that's not where we were. But I think that's what we have to read next, right? I think so. Am I right here? I already lost track. There is so much. But I just feel like it makes sense to read the related entries first. This will be a long night. I didn't even think we would read stuff today, but here we are. The Nameless Trailblaze. Mysterious strangers were seen to come and go in many worlds. Again, Adrian Spencer Smith. 1,000 years ago, the Aeon Akivili traversed across worlds, laying down the star rail that linked worlds together in the Sea of Stars, and leaving behind countless legends about the universe and exploration. The brave and curious were attracted by the tales of these adventures, and followed the steps of the Trailblaze, joining the god on their journeys to explore the galaxy. Wait, I just had a really, really crazy thought. That probably is not it, but what if? Okay, hear me out. Traveling across the galaxy, laying down the star rail that linked worlds together. Sea of Stars. Traveling through a sea of stars. And then they disappeared, died in an accident. What if that's Ether and Lumine? What if Ether and Lumine are Akivili? Because they are travelers. We've only known them as travelers, and we know that they lived on different kind of planets. And they were exploring planet for planet, living there a while, then moving on, finding a new home. I don't know, but I could see that. I think they could be interesting, and they fell from the sky as stars. It would be cool. Definitely a more crazy theory, though. Imagine they were nameless in the past. Right? I mean, that is kind of a fun spin. I kind of like that, even though it's so far not really likely. But just because of the traveling aspect and stuff. But they just got off on one day. Yeah. And I mean, maybe this accident that was talked about earlier, where Akivili vanished, was them falling basically down to another world, losing obviously their memories probably and stuff, and maybe thus their identity, because we know memories and everything else is very, very closely linked. And then the whole Tevat stuff happened, and who knows what the Abyss Twin thinks? I mean, it would be freaking interesting. What if the fate that they have to rewrite is literally their fate as not gods anymore, not Aeons anymore? Maybe that is a bit wild. But if that turns out to be true, you have heard it here first. Anyways. Who knows, I know in the early days of Genshin the twins are said to have lost their world and are trying to find a new home. Yeah. And I mean, if Welt can't find a way back to his original world, the Honkai Impact world, who is to say that the path to Tevat isn't blocked by the unknown god and or Celestia or whatever is going on there, right? So maybe they are literally blocked from going back to their part of the universe, or just from traveling altogether, and that's what they're also trying to fix before they got tangled up. I kind of really like that theory. Oh no, I talked myself into believing it now. Now I kind of want to stand by that theory. But we know that Akivili traveled with someone, with another Aeon, right? Or not? We have to continue reading, because I feel like maybe we can spin more out of that. The adventurers called themselves the Nameless. They rode on the express created by Akivili, because also, isn't the Nameless a weird name for the faction of a traveling Aeon? Or of an explorer Aeon? Isn't that kind of weird? I mean, it could just be because, okay, going from place to place, never really making a name for oneself and all of that stuff in a way. But I thought the first time I heard it, I was like, wait, the Nameless sounds like a faction of someone bad or something, and not like someone who travels. I would like, ooh, do you know, or does anyone know if the Nameless is a literal translation? Or if it has a more literal translation to from the Chinese original? Ooh, that would be... Okay, you know what? You know what? I'm gonna write that down for a second. Because just because I haven't made an official theory yet doesn't mean that I might not do it. Unless someone has already done it. We'll see. They rode on the express created by Akivili and set off on thrilling adventures on planets connected by the Star Rail. Legend has it that Akivili the Trailblaze loved journeying with mortals. They and the Nameless would share wine from various worlds and sing songs composed by countless races. Isn't singing and all that stuff also a thing from Sealies and stuff? Now I'm just comparing too much. That also doesn't make any sense. They would disguise the moving express as the trail of a shooting star and laugh at the people looking up in awe. Okay, but they fell from the sky and looked like shooting stars. I'm stuck on that theory now. I'm so stuck. Once my mind is stuck somewhere, and laugh at the people looking up in awe. However, they would often get into deep trouble due to their recklessness, only to be saved by the Aeons' power. Akivili, and I mean they lost their real, true power, right? Akivili formed a deep bond with their followers, and their adventures continued to attract travelers to join the ranks of the Nameless. Travelers? I don't know. That's true, they do love their shooting stars, so it doesn't have to mean anything. It's literally just because now I'm on that train of thought, no pun intended, and I can't think of anything else. When Akivili fell, I want to know if that's confirmed, like if there were people around, or if it said that he fell, but it wasn't. Or if he literally fell from the... I'm gonna stop. A group of loyal Nameless carried on what the Aeon had started, continuing the exploration of the unknown. They held the belief that one day the will of the Trailblaze will connect the entire universe. The Astral Express that once carried Akivili and their followers still hurries between the stars till this day. It is believed... I wonder where Himiko found it though. Like, was it just crashed on her planet the whole time? It is believed that the Express is powered by the heart of the deceased Aeon and is repairing with great difficulty the star rail contaminated by the unknown cancer. I want to know if that's true. I mean, that also would just make sense. Oh, this is way too interesting. Oh gosh. Okay. I think before we go to the related entries from now on, until I get sidetracked again, I will first go through these. I really want to do that, and we just gotta take our time here. Crash down on her planet one day, as far as we know. Okay, but if it's, I mean, they used it after he left, or after he was gone. But, okay, if the people still used it though, wouldn't they have taken care of it? Wouldn't they have tried to repair it all the time? Or was it just aimlessly in the universe and someday crashed, and it was when Himiko was there? I need to know so much more. Nanook. Nanook is way too hot though. I saw him now in the frickin' simulated universe. He is too hot to handle. If the increase of entropy is a fundamental law of the universe, then the heat death would be the inescapable destiny of the material world. So why is it that we bother to struggle to survive? Expansion, fusion, and then annihilation. If we wish to welcome the new, then we must first embrace the end. From a scientist just before pressing the button for nuclear detonation. We know Aha did say they hit on the Express and blew it up. Oh, right. Aha did say something like that. Right. Aha is definitely... Like, for one, Aha is just all about joy and fun, but also about just the unexpected and chaos. And that's just so interesting. The birth of the universe is a mistake. That's the first sentence. Ooh. If civilization is a cancer emerging quietly from the boundless stars, then war is the only common language known to all intelligent life. To correct this mistake and to clean up this tainted universe, Nanook became the avatar of entropy. Oh, but that's interesting. Huh. Okay, so Nanook literally wants the birth of the universe is a mistake. Civilization is a cancer emerging quietly. But does he want the universe to disappear? Like, does he basically wants to destroy the universe or just civilization? Huh. But that is a good point though, right? Because if civilization gets further, then war will probably happen or is already happening on different kinds of planets. So yeah, he is edgy. That's true. But that thought is kind of legit. Like, I'm sure that we will reach planets that are in war with each other, and that won't be good or good to look at. Oh, I want to read those too. Okay, we'll go back. Lan, the hunt. With no end to hate and no boundaries to war, how much concern do you shoulder? With determined eyes and the arrow drawn, the rainbow arbiter needs to turn back hither. World's history as a mirror. Gentle. The Aeon known as the Rainbow Arbiter wanders endlessly between worlds to destroy the undead beings that once poisoned their homeworld. The cost of the hunt was never a consideration for Lan. There is often no difference between the salvation they offer and total destruction. But the hunt also sounds kind of, in a way, dangerous. Wanders aimlessly between worlds to destroy the undead beings that once poisoned their homeworld. So, Lan seems way more personal. Like, the others kind of have some sort of ideology. This one just also seems like it just wants revenge, in a way, and it became the hunter. But also it seemed like Lan is more involved when they mentioned Shen Zhou and stuff. I'm so curious. News, the erudition. I don't think I've seen them. I've only seen these. No, okay, really not. Nanook and Lan and Aha. Those are the only ones that I have pictures for. And no, and preservation. Whatever that name was. Kleipos, right. If the truth of the universe is cruel and stale, would you still yearn for the answer to the ultimate question? Knowledge seekers know not how to judge, for their core is cold and unwavering, as are the ends of path they set out to seek. Again, Adrian Spencer Smith. All things bear unanswered questions, and there is an answer to everything. The astral computer, originally meant to provide answers to the universe, ascended to Aeonhood. Nous hopes to understand the universe and solve all of its mysteries. Oh, this one is the one that also just wants to understand everything, right? I'm curious about this one, because especially compared to Lan. Lan seems like all about revenge and hunting, obviously. And this one is so much more relatable in that way that it wants to solve all the mysteries. Lan is hunting after Yoshi. Will I get to... Okay, we will get to Yoshi. Don't know what they did yet, but we might find out. Is it Sipe? The harmony? The world is in harmony, and the stars shine bright. Praise the Lord. All are connected, and the wind of blessing breathes across the lands. Odes of harmony. A plural Aeon from multiple harmonious worlds, the glorious Sipe of 1,000 faces is chanting songs of joy and happiness. Every time someone sings songs of stuff, I think of Venti. To battle the brutality of the laws of the universe, intelligent life forms must discard their cowardly selfishness and the differences between individuals, fusing into one singular melody, to have the strong help the weak and to protect life with death. So this one is literally all about song, happiness, joy, protection. No, not really protection, right? Discard their cowardly selfishness and differences between individuals. Ooh. Oh, harmony was the puzzle one. Right, the puzzle mommy. Did we read this? A plural Aeon. Yeah, I think I started this and then, oh, the glorious Sipe of 1,000 faces. Now I get that. Now I get this. 1,000 faces. Okay. Oh, but that's interesting. It's interesting that the harmony Aeon has 1,000 faces. I think that's really cool because that means, in a way, the Aeon also believes in, even though there are many, many emotions, many people, many faces, many personalities, they can live in harmony. Like, that's how I would think for right now, if this Aeon is really positive. But I will not just jump to conclusions and guess that all of the Aeons have more going on. Maybe just Klypoth didn't really. Klypoth is a rock. So, is it Ix or Ish? You may gaze deep into the vast grandeur of the stars, but do not glance at the abyss of the void, for it holds nothing except for the ability to make mortals lose all reason and thought. Murong, Doctor of Chaos. There is a Doctor of Chaos. Okay, this is the eyes in the universe, I think. It should be. The existence of nihility is a mystery itself, their form enshrouded by layers of mist. Ish doesn't interact with the other Aeons. They believe that the ultimate fate of the multiverse is nothingness, and therefore worthless. Oh, that's supposed to be 9. Okay, that makes more sense. I mean, with all the names with the X, I was just like, maybe it's just Ish, but okay, 9 makes sense. Or does it? Why is it 9? Was it the 9th Aeon to ever exist? It's probably as simple as that, because it doesn't communicate with anyone, so it probably doesn't have a name, and thus they just numbered it. That makes sense. I hope that's it. Klypoth and the Preservation. The philosopher gazes upon the stars, trying to find the ultimate goal of civilization. Build a wall. Why does everyone wants to build a wall? I mean, in this case, it helped them. A majestic voice echoed in his head. Build a wall. The builder of the celestial comet wall, the subspace crystalline barrier, and the great attractor base. Followers call them the Ember Lord, one of the oldest and most tenacious Aeons, having survived the Dusk Wars. After finding out a threat was imminent, the Ember Lord forged a powerful light-years-long seal that would isolate and protect the living worlds. I want to know more about the Dusk Wars. But also, I want to know more about this Aeon, because even though it's a stone, it seems to be smarter than... Honestly, I don't even know what I wanted to say here, but it seems smart. Like, it's weird. Yaoshi, the Abundance. The flowers share their petals, this was also beautiful, without care, waiting for the inevitable withering destiny. The birds fly high in song, moving toward their inevitable crash and death. The streams flow rapidly with life, in a direction where they inevitably run dry. Why must all things come to an end? There must be a miracle somewhere in the universe that can cure the disease known as finality. Ooh. Ask with feeling and you shall receive. Yaoshi is the nurturer of lives, the god of eternal paradise. Their desire is to ensure the perpetual existence of life. Yaoshi is an Aeon who answers all prayers and cannot bear to see death and the pains of illness. Oh, I kind of have a feeling, like I kind of have a hint on why Lan might hunt him. Them. Because if this one answers all prayers and just cannot bear to see death, it's not judging people. Like, it's not judging people from good or bad or doing something good and thus deserving death or something. So it probably enabled something in this one's past or something, or some bad things in a way, even though it just wants life and it's just like, yeah, they will take care of it. I just want everyone to live and paradise and everything should live. I mean, that it seems to be that. Klypoth, I'm going to build the most beautiful and biggest wall. I mean, that's a goal, right? At least Klypoth has a goal. But also, I feel like I'm right now, I'm almost the biggest fan of Yaoshi's and Nanook's design. Like, I love the design of Harmony. I will just call them by their titles basically and not by the names, because until I can remember them. Because harmony, abundance, and destruction, these ones are the ones that I am just like, oh my gosh, they look so cool. Ouroboros, the voracity. Oh, insects are to birds as hares are to wolves. The stars are to the black hole as the worlds are to the gluttonous. I don't think I ever heard about Ouroboros in anywhere else yet. World's history as a mirror, Xianzhou. Oh, maybe we'll learn more there. The drinker of worlds. Oh. Oh, this one was all the teeth. Okay, that makes sense. The unsatisfied devourer. The black hole with thought. They are an Aeon and a Leviathan at the same time. In the eyes of Ouroboros, life is a flickering fragment floating in the sea of void, destined to return to the darkness, along with the stars which birthed them. This darkness is within the depth of their mouth. So, the thing is, how the heck does one become an Aeon? Because we have this swarm being insect thing that was an Aeon. Is an Aeon, was an Aeon, I don't know. We have a literal black hole. We have, what was it? Number 9, we have another... I don't even know what to call... No, wait, was it this one? We have a literal abyss, basically. A black hole with thought. How and why did they become a freaking Aeon? I want to know. Also, I want to know if... I mean, they say it's only probably interested in devouring. But do they have followers? And what are they interested in, if they have? I mean, there are no related things yet, but... surely there are followers for every Aeon. That's just what I'm going to guess, because there are so many people in the... There are a lot of planets. Because Leviathans are older than stars, it seems. I mean... but is that the reason that it's an Aeon? I just need more. Faye! Hello! What do you mean, oh no? Did you see that you came back at the best time? I think it's a really good time though. So much learning, so much lore, so much to digest. There's so much, oh gosh. I don't know when I can remember all of their names. I mean, Ouroboros I can kind of probably guess. Because I don't know if it's the same writing or the same name. But isn't that, or very similar, the name of the snake that basically eats its own tail? So it makes sense that it's the unsatisfied devourer. One of my favorites! Aha! Honestly, Aha will be even more my favorite if Sampo truly is a follower of Aha. Then I just love him and Aha more, because that's just interesting. Oh no! Hope you get better very, very soon! And thanks for stopping by then! The erudition is a hunk of junk. The preservation is a blockhead. The hunt has no sense of humor, and the destruction is a lunatic. All the Aeons are as stubborn as they come. What a shame for Aha. A masked fool who is a self-proclaimed astronomy expert. I think that's really funny. I want to think that the Aha thinks that way too, or that Aha thinks the others are just boring because they just want one thing. I feel like Aha will be very funny and very chaotic, which will be very fun. The elated one understands that only the wise and sentient possess the privilege of understanding joy. Neither the dusty rocks nor the distant stars can fathom the humor that life entails. Is that a jab at the literal rock and the literal black hole, maybe? A quest for formidable adversaries and game of strategy and activities. To while away the time bears no winners or losers. Instead, a search for the kind of laughter that leaves one breathless will lead to the unexpected delights that uplift the soul toward divinity. Remember, clowns can be the most dangerous? Oh, I do remember. But that's why I'm excited. I don't know. I feel like those kind of chaotic characters that no one really can predict are the most interesting and sometimes fun. Also, because of this, I need to read The Masked Fools because of the whole Sampo theory. Even an organization like the Masked Fools sings solemn praises of their Aeon. The Aeon will never give you up, never let you down or abandon you. They will never make you cry, say goodbye, or tell a lie and hurt you. Ask Wrigley, super pop star of the Epsilon Galaxy. Thank goodness, I already knew this was coming. To be fair, the internet was full of that. I couldn't even escape it, so I can't believe they put this in, but it makes so much sense. Even this makes so much sense for the masked fools. It's just so good. They are really good. The masked fools tell a parable of the birth of their beloved Aeon. When the Lord of Elation climbed to the highest branch of the Tree of Existence, they saw the cold and despicable void, the stars operating like machinery, and how the meaning of all things bows before nothingness. They continued looking until they saw a baby fall to the ground and cry because it had been wronged. The Aeon burst into laughter. Laughter is so clear it tore through the cold universe and still reverberates through the universe today. The fools believe that the truth of the world is a joke, and that the ultimate meaning of all things lies in mere laughter. The universe is merciless, but there is joy to eliminate pain, dilute sorrow, resist nihilism, and heal wounds. Laughter, the gift of intelligent races, is the only answer. Masked fools are extremely radical when it comes to their belief amongst the followers of Elation. In their pursuit of pleasure, they do whatever it takes to find it, often causing havoc wherever they go. They laugh at heroes for self-righteousness, kings for lust for power, lovers for infatuation, and scholars for overthinking. Their goal is to stir the stagnant pool of life, to create surges and change. It is only then that the fools derive their greatest pleasure worthy of laughter. It would be a welcome sight if someone could turn the tables on them. The thing is, it still makes sense with Sampo. And I feel like I heard that there are those radical ones, but there are also the less radical ones. But the thing is, the whole thing, they laugh at heroes for self-righteousness. And Sampo kind of said something like that he was glad that he didn't have to play the hero. Was it something like that? Is there somewhere I can is there somewhere where I can look at what Sampo said? Is there basically a quest, what's it called? where I can look at all the dialogue? Fellow box, Sampo monologue. I wanna see. Wait, is there something? No, I don't know. Oh my gosh, I destroyed everything. Oh gosh. Wait, is it there? It's probably not. It's probably not this. Because I would love to see what he said exactly, and I don't want to look for a video now. I just remember that he was kind of glad, or that he at least sounded that way. That he didn't have to play the hero, but was just a comedic relief, basically. So it could still make a whole lot of sense, which is just really, really funny and really interesting. And for some way, his design fits really well with that thought, I think. I hope that's not just me. Anyway, Foley sus. Time, the hardest working thief in the world. It keeps stealing away our present form from us and tossing it away in a warehouse named memory. Some are addicted to recuperating their losses. Others care not in the slightest. Life is too short by Anonymous. The purest memory in existence is the most tolerant. It records everything without disgust or preference. It selflessly preserves every fact and every enchanting gesture. It is a river formed from continuous life, a treasure built up out of eternal wisdom. Foley is the fish that swims back upstream. Foley is the key to this treasure world. They sit in the center of the sanctuary, silently watching as the world tirelessly repeat the same mistakes over and again. Right, I also had a thought, like, what if Marge is a memory, not from Foley, but like stored away by Foley, or kind of got disconnected from the rest of the memory, and that's why Marge can't remember anything, because March as a person is only one part of the memory, maybe? Because it's in eyes, and I don't know, in crystals, weird eyes. Maybe it has nothing to do with but with the weird eyes, I'm just thinking fully because of the design. Oh, we didn't see the beauty. Oh, I'm so sad. But that wasn't that the flowers withering away in the video? There is beauty in a stretch of fabric, in the lines of a poem, and in a few notes in a song. Welcome to an era where the idea of beauty is absolutely worthless. How vulgar, how hopeless, how sad. Fashion Guide of the Galaxy Chief Editor Micheline von Tarantino. Idrila witnessed the ultimate meaning of the world's existence through the ever-changing view of the universe, known to the rest as the concept of beauty. The Aeon of Beauty suddenly vanished one day. It was just as mysterious as when they first appeared. Isn't that ironic? Because humans usually say, oh yeah, beauty will wither away. And we had the whole symbolic of literally flowers withering away, beauty withering away, and it just vanished one day. I'm so curious about freaking every Aeon. Wait, did we read everything about Tay? I think we did. Yeah, we did. Wow. Didn't know my brain could get any worse. I feel like I can remember certain details perfectly, and other big things not at all. Well, anyway, the swarm. Mythos the Enigmata. All of those names. To give up questioning is like the pouring rain giving up on the devotion of the stars. To freely let the deluge of metaphors pierce your skin. You will see the truth at the end of the night sky, swirling in rosy colors like clouded air. Sharon Layton, Galactic Laureate Poet, self-proclaimed. So is this one more about... I don't know. I don't know why I wanted to guess. I will just read. It is a fallacy that all things can be experienced and recognized. The living seeks to produce prophecies of the unknown, based on their limited grasp of order. But little do they know that the universe has no end, and that the truth is a fevered dream. Oh gosh, the truth is a fevered dream? To prevent the erudition's certainty from destroying the variables of possibility, myths conjured the fog of thought and rain of sensation to reveal to the mortals the inexplicable truth through the four agents of hue, obstruction, riddle, and mirage. This one is really interesting. Oh my gosh, they are called the Riddlers. Their followers. They seem really interesting. I kind of also want to... Oh, yeah, no, okay, we are going to read that, because why not? I'm just curious. You know what I know, and you don't say what I don't say. What am I? Anti-Fooly, pretty much. I like this one. I like so many of them. They are all so interesting and fascinating. You know what I know, and you don't say what I don't say. What am I? Wait. Can I wait. You know what I know, and you don't say what I don't say. What am I? I don't know, a reflection? Riddler Baden Babibalo Bala, that's the name, and 2. The Enigmata has many talented followers, with the Riddlers being a prominent group. They were once Palace Hall poets, chiaroscura painters, masters of disguise, or occult monks. While having reached great heights in their respective fields, they turned into an incomprehensible group of people who spouted ridiculousness and wrote falsehoods after coming into contact with the Aeon. Where the history fictionologists are devoted to the mystification of history, the Riddlers are obsessed with destroying the certainty of language. Words used to express meaning are gradually obfuscated in the mouth of the Riddlers. They deconstruct texts, abuse metaphors, change word orders, tamper with semantics, and transform an otherwise precise language into something beyond recognition. Why do they seem almost as chaotic as Aha? Just in a different way. While the Riddlers are not as prominent as history fictionologists, their actions still have a subtle yet huge impact on the current universe. Why is it so hard to find a pure and precise language in the galaxy these days? That is another riddle left by the Riddlers. They are confusing, but that explains the name Baden Babibalo Bala. Ho! What I read here is definitely ho! The equilibrium. I stole away the golden weights and felt proud of the ripples stirred up. The Aeon always sees right through my tricks, and the stars reset the balance to 0. Someone who loves history, I hate these guys. Like, why do you gotta destroy history? Yeah, I also want to know the reason. That's why I said they confuse me, because I don't get it. Like, for other Aeons, I guess it was something personal, and maybe for this one too. Like, maybe for Mythos, it's also something personal? Because if it's not something personal, or if it's not something different, then wouldn't it just be as chaotic as just in a different way? So it must have some other viewpoint of it, which is interesting, and they chose to follow it, which is weird. Even though they were scientists and smart people and stuff, so maybe there's a reason. I'm curious. I think that will be my most said sentence, again. The chain of karma that mortals obsess over is nothing but a rough approximation of the complicated topology behind all things. All dissolve their will into the web of logic behind the universe's movement, maintaining the balance and stability of all things in perpetuity. Adventurous mortals tirelessly seek out flaws in the system, believing their intellect to be superior to that of the Aeon. However, little could they imagine that they have already been reduced to strings inside a surveillance system, unable to escape the meticulous network woven by Ho. Related entries is the imaginary tree theory. Okay, first this, I think we also have to read this because imaginary tree. The arbitrators, equilibrium. Oh right, we also want to read, oh gosh. Honestly, yeah, I'm not backing down. I'm not backing down. I will regret it, but I am way too much into lore. I love learning about lore and world building and stuff. The arbitrators, equilibrium. Good medicine tastes bitter. Sweet honey causes harm. Balance begets choice, and choice breeds freedom. Also, I think that with these factions, maybe we can learn more about the Aeons themselves, hopefully. Life is too short by Anonymous, again. At the beginning of life, the weight of existence was placed upon the scales, and the burgeoning of life energy instantly tilted the balance of the universe. But the patience of the equilibrium is unfathomable. Given enough time, existence and nothingness are destined to attain perfect balance once more, and the balance of universal precepts must be respected. The arbitrators admired Ho's ideas, praising their eternal focus and patience. But universal laws have no control over time and space. Mortals can only pursue the beauty of the equilibrium in a secular world by the elimination of radical extremes. Beauty and ugliness, joy and sorrow, good and evil, love and hatred. Countless opposing concepts were created and interpreted to satisfy the arbitrator's obsession with a zero-sum universe. But the roots of mortals are always riddled with flaws. Out of desperation, the arbitrators were constantly forced over the inexplorable passage of time to patch up past fallacies and mistakes, forever shifting the hopes of the equilibrium onto the next patch. Ho watches on in silence, knowing that the restoration of order could never be shaken in the slightest by such vulgar mortal drama. The followers of Ho are literally just like, we are doing stuff! And Ho's like, let the children play. It's okay. And it's even more interesting that the equilibrium took an interest in us. Is it canon? It has to be, right? Imaginary tree theory! The imaginary tree is a theory of the universe widely accepted by the modern scientific community. Didn't we read this? Maybe not. This theory describes the various worlds existing in different space-time as a tree-like structure. Every branch is a specific path along which worlds might exist, with every leaf being the marks these worlds have made along the perimeter of time. The crown of the tree remains in a dynamic state as it absorbs the masterless imaginary energy from the space-time vasculature of the trunk. New shoots grow, withered leaves fall, and endless births and deaths occur among the countless universes. describing the universe's structure as a tree, maybe an attitude that views the imaginary tree as a life form. I mean, I'm sure most of us know about some imaginary tree. Before the theory of imaginary tree was put forward, the universe had been addressed as a void and indiscernible object, because of its undetectable nature. After the theory was developed, people would visualize its principle using imagination. The untamed imaginary energy surges endlessly through space-time vasculature, and forms as its tips galaxies that humans can understand. In other words, countless worlds. The worlds are separated from each other just as leaves are separated by air, between which are unknown imaginary domains that are nigh impossible to traverse. Do they mean like, okay, so every leaf is another world or another universe? Or are they not sure? I mean, this is, after all, just a theory. The Intelligentsia Guild had once thought that Harold Punch, the second member of the Genius Society, was the first to propose the imaginary tree origin theory. After multiple assessments on the influence of the history fictionologist, the scientific community now commonly accepts Sander von Kuwabara as the person to have proposed it. Also one of the Genius Society. Okay, wait, how do I get back to where I was? Factions. That's where I wanted to go. I feel like the whole thing about the imaginary tree and that they give us this theory, they only give us this theory to later disprove it. Like, they want to give us this theory or maybe some theories so that we have some sort of idea what's going on, but later they will use that to disprove it and to make it something completely different. I don't know. It just feels that way. It could be. Okay. Wait, did we read this one? I think we did. Yeah, we did. This one we read. This one we also read. Yes, it was because, well, we drifted into what if the travelers is Akivili? Xianzhou Alliance, the hunt. Oh, so it's literally, okay, no, so it's a few people follow the hunt. Galaxy Rangers and Xianzhou Alliance. Fight together against countless enemies, be together through endless turmoil. Of the 1,000 lifespans encountered, I take but one sip and leave the rest to its fate. World's history as a mirror, Xianzhou. Oh gosh, okay. That's a lot again. In an ancient era of legends, multiple Xianzhou ships were tasked with voyaging across the stars to search for the miracle medicine of immortality. Okay, so immortality was literally always their deal. The endless voyage took its toll on Xianzhou, wearing away its conviction and shape over the long years, until their eventual encounter with Yaoshi. Ooh. I'm sorry, but just if I imagine the hunt and Yaoshi, I'm like, oh my god. However, all that the fruit of immortality brought upon them were sorrows, poverty, and endless war and death. It wasn't until Lan, the Aeon of the hunt, returned from the abyss. Returned from the abyss, what? Then, using gravity as bowstring and stars as arrows, Lan shattered the ambrosial arbor in one strike and put the wickedness of the abundance to an end. After Xianzhou returned to the righteous path, it formed an alliance under the guidance of the hunt and formed a powerful army known as the Cloud Knights. The alliance's goals were to patrol the world and eradicate all abominations of abundance, and put an end to the corruption of the undead. Okay, the hunt and Yaoshi are really interesting. It really... So, the abundance probably enabled the whole thing with immortality, and thus made them fight, even though not directly, but they fought because immortality was a thing, and thus war broke out and bad things happened because immortality is never a good thing to be around. That makes sense. But also there must be more, and I'm very excited. I really want to get back into the story, but I get sidetracked. Over the years, the Xianzhou Alliance landed on a great number of worlds that used to enjoy the grace of gods. They eradicated countless undead abominations, Any civilization that worshipped the abundance had to consider the possible threat of the Xianzhou destroying their planet. Oh, so they also destroyed planets? If the civilization on that planet worshipped the abundance? Oh, that... This kind of deterrence was precisely what the Xianzhou Alliance is hoping to be. They want to be seen as the constant red line for those greedy for immortality, becoming the price that none dares to pay. So because they paid this price for immortality, they now want to stop basically every other civilization from even getting to that point. Even if they have to be a threat. That's interesting. Oh, I like that they are also on a gray line then. Like, they are not good, they are not bad, but they are also on a line trying to do something good. I just wonder that, like, that's the thing. If the planets or the civilizations are afraid that they might be destroyed from them, did they destroy planets? To this day, countless souls have gathered upon Xianzhou, all bearing the will of the hunt, and the intent of seeking revenge on the ravaging abundance. Oh, okay, so literally revenge is a whole thing, and we already knew that from Blade, basically. They will not rest until the complete eradication of the deathless doom, and their galactic tours will not end. I can't help but still... I don't dislike the hunt, and I don't dislike the abundance. I am very curious about both of them. Because they just have very different ideologies, right? But I do wonder what the hunt stood for before. Was it just about basically punishing evil, like kind of... maybe even having a hero complex in a way of punishing bad things? Because before that, the hunt seemed to have already existed. The hunt returned from the abyss, meaning the hunt was somewhere around before even this happened. Or that this maybe happened before, but only then the following of the hunt formed. That could also be. Freaking interesting! Ah! And then we have the Galaxy Rangers who also follow the hunt. The ultimate fighter dreams only of the stars. Not all devotees of the hunt hate the abundance. That was what I was wondering. Such a group of talented rangers exists out there. This group admires Land's policy of using violence against violence, and the Aeon's swift decisiveness regarding punishment, believing the benevolence and justice of the universe needs to be upheld via personal action. I can see how that can go really badly. It can also, of course, maybe be good, but it sounds like it could very quickly become very bad, and they kind of, you know, in believing that they are punishing bad things, they could easily gain a god complex or just some sort of like that. Like that could very well really quickly happen. So I'm very curious. I will keep that in mind for the whole part of Xianzhou. I'm just really interested to see where this is going. The Galaxy Rangers formed into a group of heroes. Oh, that's what I meant. Walking the path of the hunt and roam the universe thanks to the blessings of the Aeon. They went from planet to planet upholding justice for the locals, hunting down evil, then embarking on new journeys. Okay, very neutral sentences. The successful assassination of a Lord Ravager, Zulu, first brought the Galaxy Rangers their fame. And many years later, a ranger thwarted the atavistic experiment of the 64th member of the Genius Society, Dr. Primitive. But after that, these Galaxy Rangers gradually faded out of sight in the galaxy. Rumor has it that they fell victim to Dr. Primitive's vengeance. Ooh! Kind of exciting. Kind of really exciting. The whole... Every story strand, every freaking part of the lore is so interesting. Oh, Doctors of Chaos. Didn't we read from... Yeah, Doctor of Chaos, Murong, from this one. We do not heal the body, nor free the soul. We do not covet life, nor shun death. We honor existence itself. Existence... Wait, nihility, isn't that the basically galaxy thing with eyes? That was that thing, right? Right, I was wondering if they have followers, and they seem to have followers, which is weird. Existence is nothing. When an organism has this thought and applies it as its guiding principle, it begins to walk on the path ruled by nine, and receive the meaningless glimpse of the Aeon from some distant void. This will usually have two outcomes. One, the organism will devolve and truly become nothing, becoming something called a self-annihilator. Two, the organism will be captivated by the magnificence of the Aeon, thus becoming a doctor of chaos in their spontaneous curiosity. So weird. That is so fascinating weird. Doctors of chaos uphold the creed of saving the world. If they are able to prove to nine that existence is more than nothing, they could free that large and lonely soul from the depths of the unknown void. What they try to prove is almost a paradox and cannot be done by mortals. Yet the Doctors of Chaos seem to enjoy trying, because the moment they perceive the worthlessness of life, that glance from the distant galaxy inspired within them a futile desire to revolt against meaningless destiny. This is really interesting though, because this is almost like the followers are trying to prove the opposite of what that Aeon believes. That's interesting. Oh, the dynamics are so fascinating. What the heck? I love the whole theme of Aeons and having factions and followers of those Aeons. That's so freaking cool. Device 9 is real. Go find it. There lies all of Dr. Primitive's secrets. Dr. Primitive, who might have killed all the Galaxy Rangers. Some drunken Galaxy Ranger. Oh, maybe not? Everything in the universe is bound by the prison of existence, constrained by their body and mind, and blinded by the world's superficial appearance. Even the most intelligent beings cannot comprehend this. Matter, order, logic, and life, everything that makes up reality, is but one side of the coin. On the opposite side of equal entropy, there exists nihility. The two balance each other to create the complete universe. Legend has it that a mysterious faction known as Device 9 lurks in the empty reflections of void, difficult to be perceived by the material world. Those who gaze into the void for a long time will gradually be drawn to the dark energy overflowing in the abyss, eventually passing through the dark web that separates reality from nothingness. This legend has yet to be proven though. That gives, if you stare too long to the void will stare back at you a different meaning. The most prestigious geniuses in the universe attempted to solve this mystery, challenging Device 9 with no results. Why was this organization created? What are its goals? How many members does it have and what do they do? Does Device 9 truly exist? The answer is as empty as the question itself. Thanks for just telling us. Might exist, might not, but it's freaking fascinating. Why is everything so fascinating? It's so mean. Also, there are so many two factions. It's freaking interesting. Preservation, propagation, remembrance, elation. Oh, there are also a few of beauty. I'm also curious about the beauty one. I want to know where it went, basically. Denizens of abundance. One flower blooms while thousands more wrinkle. Bones tell no tales, to abundance most fickle. I'm so fascinated by abundance. The denizens of abundance create poetry and art in the name of their beloved god, spreading the love and kindness of Yaoshi throughout the universe. In the worlds blessed by Yaoshi, the water never runs dry, and creatures are free from the cruel binds of time. Life is free to bloom as it sees fit. In the worlds blessed by Yaoshi, age is but a number, and mortals are not afraid of aging and death. They enjoy their lives to the fullest. This is really, really cool to read. I can't wait to go to a planet where they are following abundance. And I wonder if they will then bring the Galaxy Rangers back, who will get here and want to kind of destroy the peace, but also want to protect their whole thing about living forever is not a good thing. Also, I wonder how it works. Because if age is but a number and mortals are not afraid of aging and death, Wait, does it just mean that they are not afraid? Or that they won't age and die? Like, did Yaoshi... No, Yaoshi did say... Creatures are free from the cruel binds of time. I understand that as they are immortal. He's just like... Just live. Just live. That's all I want. Just live. That's how I kind of understand it. But I just wonder, wouldn't every planet sooner or later, or actually not every planet, but wouldn't it be too full at some point? Like, what do they do? Are they just going to another planet if there are too many people on the planet? Or do civilizations never live that long because eventually war will catch up to them? Or Shensho Alliance will catch up to them? Oh, oh. Because the thing is, are they wrong for following this kind of abundance, Aeon? I don't think so, because I feel like many people would want this kind of life. If there's literally, like, nothing will ever run out, like the water will never run dry, no aging, no death. Like, those are things that would usually worry humans. So, I don't think it's wrong for them to follow this Aeon. And I feel conflicted about the Shinshu Alliance maybe then fighting there or something, but I don't know if they truly fight or if they just want to scare them with their presence and maybe make them change their ways. I don't know. I'm just thinking way too far ahead into possible storylines. Though its denizens come from different worlds, they all tell the same story. Thousands of years ago, war ravaged their lands. Oh! The short lives of mortals bred greed and fear, which gave rise to plunder and tyranny. As demons and plagues ran rampant, the very fate of this world and its denizens were at stake in the flames of war, until a kind god descended and planted a flower seed as warm as the sunshine. The moment the seed touched the earth, the whole world was transformed. Parched soil began to heal, and muddy waters became clear. Mortals tortured by wounds and disease were no longer in pain. People's hearts were no longer filled by sorrow. Humankind discarded their blood-stained weapons and began spontaneously praising the blessings from the god of abundance. Like, the thing is, of course, it seems good, but this part. Tortured by wounds and disease were no longer in pain. Are they healed, or do they just not feel the pain anymore? And did this Aeon literally alter what they feel? Like, there are many things that are very vague, which is really, really cool. Hello! Hello there! Hope you want lore, because we do lore. Actually, we just read because I got sidetracked. But that doesn't change that we do lore. Yaoshi ended the suffering of these worlds and bestowed upon mortals bodies and souls that could withstand the corrosion of time. In return, the denizens of abundance made Yaoshi's name known to the universe to show their gratitude. Rumors started to spread that certain hunters who roam between worlds regard Yaoshi as evil and their creations as abominations. The loyal denizens of abundance will not tolerate such blatant blasphemy. The accusers who slander God will pay. Oh gosh. Okay, sounds dangerous too. But that's the thing. When we read about the hunt and the Shinsho Alliance, they only called the followers of abundance the undead, which of course made me think of zombies. But if these are people and Yaoshi, I mean, just, in quotes, gave them immortality, or at least so that they are not able to die from aging. Is it? Oh, this is conflicting and I love it. I need more lore of both the abundance and the hunt, so I hope I will get that. Because I haven't really done, you know, I cannot say it. I'm trying my best here. There are so many words. But there are also other people. Oh, elixir seekers sounds like they want more though. Oh, wanderer cloaked in stars. Why are you so obstinate? You seek only a poison that will annihilate the joys that mortality gave to life. Ooh. Conflict and turmoil linger everywhere in our already short lifespan. The lust and ambitions of the living continuously spark conflict and disaster. The transience of life has driven many ordinary people into madness. In order to escape the pain and burden that mortality has brought upon civilization, worlds upon worlds have sent out faithful emissaries, devoted to the abundance, in the hope of finding the famous Yaoshi and acquiring the elixir of immortality. Okay, I can see now where this is a bad thing. Those elixir seekers come from different backgrounds. Some are royals with the command of an entire fleet, while some are just lonely travelers who have nothing but themselves. What they do have in common, however, is the obsession over immortality. I wonder if Luocha could be an elixir seeker because of the coffin that he carries around. That's the only thing why I'm wondering. The Xianzhou Alliance has repeatedly warned blind followers that there is a cost that lies behind the blessings of the abundance. However, their warnings have already fallen on deaf ears. Arrogance and fear have always trumped the voice of reason, pushing elixir seekers further on their stubborn voyage. Yeah, I can see how that is a bad thing. I thought that abundance just gave some people immortality or whatever. Maybe just for some time, or maybe just for some planets. I'm re-rolling for Jeopard. Good luck! You will get him, I hope. Luocha, Otto, death. Yeah, that's it. Because, I mean, Luocha obviously looks like Otto. And obviously Otto was all about, I want to bring Cullen back from the dead. And if abundance is all about immortality, or at least the followers are all about immortality, I hope. I'm excited. Where were we? Among the vast number of elixir seekers, how many have seen the face of abundance? How many can succeed in returning to their civilization with the supposed medicine of salvation? Sadly, these immortality-seeking voyagers have chosen to ignore the harrowing wails of the long-lived monsters that have terrorized the universe. Ooh, really interesting. Oh gosh. Oh gosh, you're on your 6th account. Oh gosh. I think you need more luck. Very good luck and more luck. Hi, Richard. How are you? Antimatter Legion, Destruction. Let's freaking go. Destruction is... Ooh. Destruction is also dangerous, but also very hot. I don't think anyone can deny that Nanook is freaking hot. If I would see him, I mean, I can't say I wouldn't follow, but also, I mean, Abundance, I would probably also follow if I would see Abundance. And Harmony, maybe too. The emissary in black asks, "For what purpose do you live?" He could only give a vague and obscure response, even after thinking about it for a while. A deadly smile appears across the emissary's face. Let me put it another way. Why are you still alive? Gosh, I can tell that I will like the characters that follow the path of destruction so much, dang it. Nanook, the Aeon of Destruction, commands a vast legion that brings chaos and destruction to the worlds. Loyal followers of Nanook swear to embark on the path of destruction, placing themselves at the absolute opposite of life and civilization. Also, shouldn't Abundance and Nanook have beef, and not Abundance and Hunt? They are known as the Antimatter Legion that spreads terror throughout the universe. The fiercest races of the universe act as vanguards for the Legion. There are also evil strategists who plot out the destruction of worlds and act as the brains of the Legion. Innocent new worlds are ruthlessly destroyed, while proud and mature civilizations are forced to learn humility while on the brink of collapse. Oh gosh, Yarulo 6. The will of destruction will only slow down when faced with a dying world. The Legion saunters over planets on the verge of being shattered, devouring the chaotic energy emitted by the process of decay. Only when the last flame of civilization has been extinguished will they leave contentedly to search for their next target. Worlds swept by the tide of the Legion ask helplessly in their dying moments, why? Amidst the victims' cries of despair, the countless evils in the Legion sneer so heinously that even the stars shudder. It is said that, as demons and evils roam, sometimes the shadow of Nanook would emerge from the starry sky to witness the tragic end of another world. Why is he so dramatic? He's so cool. He is bad, okay? But he is also very dramatic and epic in a bad way, but also in a really good way. Dang it. I mean, if they knew what they were doing when they made him hot, okay? Just imagine this last scene, okay? Is it kind of bad that I was just thinking, oh, I mean, I kind of wouldn't mind seeing him as the last thing I see. What? I told you I have a weakness for edgy characters. And even if it's an Aeon, it's a character. I don't know. I think I never outgrew the edginess. At least deep within. Annihilation Gang. That name alone sounds like teenagers gave that name. The value Nanook sees in the Annihilation Gang may be less than the value an infant sees when they smash a vase. Oh gosh. Research into Destruction by Dr. Primitive. Dr. Primitive seems very... is everywhere. Not all fanatical devotees of the Destruction are welcomed into the Antimatter Legion. There are many murderous species throughout the galaxy obsessed with pillaging and annihilation, but they lack the ability to systematically pursue the will of the Destruction. I wonder how he decides though, like, if they just want destruction, isn't it always good? Bury the edge deep within. I think it got so deep that it's just there. It just won't go away. I think that's why I really like these characters. The scumbags of the Annihilation Gang fantasize about one day serving as pioneers of the Destruction, but they have no idea that their cruelty only incurs Nanook's utter contempt for them. The reason is that the Annihilation Gang's goal behind their thirst for destruction is not pure enough. Oh, he weird here. He weird. He has weird principles, but he has principles. Chaotic desires are also mixed therein, with some taking pleasure in bloody slaughter, some plundering as an excuse for filthy vengeance, and some relying on endless destruction to calm their internal madness. So he wants people who want destruction not for themselves, but for the greater good. I think that's it. They claim to be loyal followers of the Destruction, but never escape the enslavement of their own selfish desires. Okay, yeah, that's basically it. You take on the banner of destruction, but you are not pure. I mean, the thing is, I'm really interested in Nanook, who he was before he became an Aeon. Because he seems to be like those kind of principled villains, you know? The ones that are like, oh yeah, I will kill people, but I would never steal candy from a baby. You know, those kind of villains. Who have their weird principles that somewhat make sense, but also, I don't know. Because he wants destruction for the greater good, because he thinks destruction is just how the universe should be. And he doesn't like those who do destruction for themselves. So what if he started as someone who hated death and destruction, but he learned something that caused him to become like this? Because every edgy character needs an edgy backstory. I mean, that could be it, literally. If he really hates those that destroy for selfish desire so much, it would make sense that he might have hated destruction itself at one point, but just chose it for the greater good for some reason. I mean, I'm sure the Aeons know more than we do. Not saying he's right, just saying there's probably reason in his madness. These marauders roam the stars, dragging everything they touch into a vortex of havoc. They will not abandon their feeble personal ideas, and so must endure the tortures of eternal spiritual exile. They are not cool enough to sit with the Destruction Gang, with the Destruction group, okay? Oh, Harmony has only one faction so far here. The world is in harmony and the stars shine bright. Praise the Lord's boundless virtue. All humans are brethren and all things are connected. The winds of blessing sweep across the lands. Harmony was the one with the puzzle pieces, right? Ode of Harmony. In the vision of the harmony, glamorous civilizations in the universe will finally become brothers and sisters, singing a hymn of unity and enjoying harmony. The whole universe will become a peaceful entity, with no discordant disagreements, nor fools who worries about a short-sighted future. Huh. I mean, you're right. You're very right. That makes sense. If it's harmony, they should only have one. I mean, unless there are also those, you know, as with the Destruction Gang. The whole universe will become a peaceful entity with no discordant disagreements, nor fools who worry about a short-sighted future. Under the doting light of the Aeon type, the chosen few formed the harmonious family. They came from different worlds and civilizations, possessing different identities, but became a tight family. There are no conflicts or disputes among its members, only eternal love and joy. It is a loving family found nowhere else in the universe. That sounds sus. The family calls out to other worlds with their song, encouraging them to embrace the harmony. Whenever new worlds accept the blessing of Sipe, the family will celebrate and rejoice and work even harder at praising the Aeon's kindness. But not every blessed world can become a member of the family. Few would mention the civilizations that perished out of stupidity or hubris. People are also curious whether any members of the family had grown tired of the song and voluntarily abandoned the path of harmony. In the face of such a question, the family smiles and replies, "Never." It sounds scary though. I don't know, just the thought that they are always smiling and sitting there happily ever after and, you know, smiling. Never! I don't know, it sounds to me like a horror movie. But maybe it truly is like that, but if they are asking the questions, I don't know. Next up is erudition. Genius Society. We know about the Genius Society. Into the hallowed halls step pride, ardor, and reason, traversing the length of a corridor etched with the inscription of knowledge and truth, transmuting into the embodiment of lowliness, apathy, and frenzy. Nous stays in a corner of the galaxy, working out the equations of the universe, made up of trillions of variables, and deriving the unknown laws of imaginary numbers. Once in a while, a spark of intelligence would flash in a mortal world, and the Aeon of erudition would send a signal to its source, inviting geniuses to join in the search for answers to the universe. Many people misinterpret the signal, thinking the invitation of the Genius Society merely represents the favor and approval of the Aeon. Then they proudly continue to devote themselves to their studies, unaware that the solution to the problems that they have spent their whole lives searching for had already been solved by Nous thousands of years ago. There are also those who rejoice, thinking that they have already reached greatness and had created priceless assets of civilization with their diligence and wisdom. They were sure that their life's achievements deserved Nous' approval. These geniuses were eager for a response from Nous, but the erudition has no time to appreciate the insignificant achievements of mere mortals. Their silence was deafening. I mean, was this Adrian part of the Genius Society, maybe? It could make sense that he wrote the most about this, but also we were mostly in contact with the Genius Society with Herta, so maybe that's just it. Only very few can ascertain Nous' intentions. Did Herta say that she met Nous once? Or just that she met an Aeon once? They humbly ask questions and seek guidance from the erudition. These enlightened few then disappear from the world, only leaving behind their world-shattering answers. The answer to the universe is beyond the limits of mortal wisdom. Only geniuses can clearly acknowledge this conclusion, can break free from the shackles of worldly curiosity, becoming true members of the Genius Society. Okay. She says she's met the Aeons twice. Oh, okay. Then it probably wasn't erudition. If erudition thinks that way about the genius, all of the smart people. Oh gosh. Intelligentsia Guild. I wanted to know more about these ones because I don't know what the whole difference and stuff is yet. The universe is vast and knowledge is universal. Both the genius and the mediocre have their own way of living. How I joined the Genius Society and became enlightened by Herta. Ooh, and became enlightened. So she is a chosen one, obviously. Only the cream of the crop can become members of the Genius Society. But the Intelligentsia Guild wastes not. The guild is willing to accept all beings from the infinite universe who seek to learn, as well as providing all that is needed for the full pursuit of knowledge. Okay, so basically the Intelligentsia Guild is more like a literal faction, and the Genius Society are the chosen ones by erudition, kind of. Maybe. The Intelligentsia Guild advocates that all knowledge must be circulated like currency. Therefore, although there are different schools that specialize in different subjects, within the guild, everyone is actively engaged with one another with no isolationism. Members trade knowledge for wisdom and formulas for recipes, seeking to achieve mastery. Each school, like a business, pays for itself, and academic circulation has achieved the maximum efficiency proposed in economic models. I mean, that sounds good so far. An elder in the Genius Society thought the Intelligentsia Guild as laughingstock. However, as an open academic organization, the Intelligentsia Guild was above such mockery. After a long period of research and exploration, its members have reached a consensus that the only way to transcend the limitations of the individual is to have an academic network of mutual learning. That wasn't about Herta at all! But I'm sure this one is also a book that I can maybe find eventually. Which is still cool. And I also woke up my cat. That's not a good thing. Oh, he usually doesn't like to be on my lap. Let's see if he likes it today. Get yourself comfy. And no, cuddle. Oh gosh, he doesn't want to cuddle. He doesn't want to cuddle. Also, he doesn't usually talk, so probably no meow from him. My cat though. My cat would talk. Continue because there's so much to read. I don't know what I got myself into, okay? I got myself into a lot of reading. Whew. Anyway, drinking time. The architects, preservation. We know about them. The foolish have their wall of flesh, and the greedy have their wall of riches. When the end comes, they will all turn to ash. Life is too short by Anonymous. Legend has it that the Aeon of Preservation, Klypoth, is the oldest Aeon. Silent and mighty. A rock. Klypoth is building a light-years-wide barrier around the galaxy, never engaging in any trivial conflict or badgering with the other Aeons. And yet Klypoth looked at Stel, or Kalos. That's weird. It could just be because of the Stellaron though. Civilizations across the galaxy speculate on the motive of Klypoth. One said the ancient Aeon foresaw a disaster that could obliterate the galaxy, so Klypoth built a barrier to protect the worlds. Another said Klypoth was willing to slave for other Aeons, and was ordered to build walls for them. There's no way to verify the truth, but Klypoth's tirelessly action moved the mortals. They spontaneously gathered in groups to build barriers to protect their planets. Some architects have claimed to feel the gaze of the Aeon of Preservation upon them. They are likened it to a gaze of approval, tinged with the warmth of the forge and the smell of lime. The annihilation of a single star can devastate planets thousands of light years away, pushing them to the precipice of extinction. On the rare occasions of such calamities, worlds are saved only by the walls their denizens have built. People who survived their demise no longer mock the stubbornness of the architects. Instead, they joined them, never to question their motives or the meaning of preservation ever again. I feel like we already kind of knew about that stuff, so Interterrestrial Peace Corporation is also about preservation. I didn't know that. With all due respect, is there anyone in the universe more enlightened than our chair Klypoth? Klypoth acquiesces... Oh, what's that word? Acquiesces? In all our business decisions. I've never seen that word. There are words I didn't know existed, and they just look ridiculous. Anyway, never asking or questioning why. How great a privilege. How great a trust. Osvaldo Schneider, head of Interastral Peace Corporation Marketing Development Department Level P47. Oh. I can already tell that they are all about long and complicated ways of naming things. To outsiders, the IPC is an enormous consortium advocating free trade. From a business perspective, the IPC is a business that issues money and monopolizes resources. From a startup perspective, the IPC is a selfless support group dedicated to the Aeon of preservation. When many Astral citizens talk about the IPC, they talk about its talking about words I don't know. Ubiquitous merchandise and logo. It's if the oh my god, I have cat hair in my mouth. I should not. All the time, I carry my cats. I can't help but cuddle and kiss them, and then I have cat hair in my mouth, and I hate that. Nope. A new day and new gambling. Don't take that for everything though. Like just for re-rolling accounts and stuff. Where was I? I forgot because I had a cat hair. My freaking mouse. In fact, almost all business transactions in the galaxy are based on the credit system created by the IPC. Oh, that's where credits come from. If one were to compare interastral trade to a sports competition, the IPC would be the top athletes, as well as the sport, the venue, and the rules themselves. Its absolute dominance over wealth and relentless expansion has given the IPC the image of a conspiratorial business dictatorship, but the IPC pays little attention to lowly ambitions such as dictatorship, because its spirit hasn't wavered since its creation. Give everything to the Ember Lord Clypoth. Garden of Recollection Remembrance. I'm very curious about them though. For people who spend their lives in the desert, even the fleeting memory of aquatic life is priceless. Actually, good point. To think is to exist, and memories are proofs of that. All things that make up the material world will eventually perish, but they can live on in another way, through remembrance. Contrary to popular belief that memory is mixed with the imaginary, memo keepers from the Garden of Recollection believe reality and imagination to be a myth. What are they believing then? What is absolutely real and immortal in the universe that is constantly reincarnating? Even stars die, and black holes evaporate. On a cosmic scale, they vanish in a breath. In this flood of time and life, the only treasure is the memory that proves the existence of people. Memo keepers from the Garden of Recollection are dedicated to preserving and sharing memories. Enlightened by their master fully, memo keepers shed their mortal flesh and live on as memetic entities. With this unique gift, they can freely traverse between worlds, unconstrained by physical limits. Memo keepers often disguise themselves as natives of the worlds they visit. They trade, copy, steal, deceive, using every means necessary to collect precious memories. Still very scary. But I didn't know there was another faction. Factory, sure. Another faction for remembrance, the Cremators. Worthless memories dissolve in time, like tears in rain. From the memories of memo keeper Roy Hampton before execution. Okay, I want to know what AE means. After Aeons? After... explosion? I don't know. In the Garden of Recollection, where memories of the universe are sought and kept, hides a group of extreme memo keepers who view the marks of existence differently. Instead of treasuring all that has taken place like their colleagues, they believe that there are different qualities and priorities of memories in the world, and that the pure land created by Fuli should not be taken up by worthless memories. Oh, so they want kind of to destroy or to burn the memories that they don't see as worthy enough to stay. Yes, that's it. Hero of Dark, thanks for the follow. I don't know more about the execution part either. I don't know. Oh, okay, Henan was you. Good to know. Farming and Sampo just messaged. A dream come true. Sampo is the reason I kind of fell into the lore hole today, to be completely honest. The cremators believe that they bear the duty of filtering memories for the Aeon. They steal the stored memories that memo keepers have gathered and rank them in order of importance. The ones that they deem worthy are returned to the collection, whereas the ones arbitrarily deemed unworthy are completely destroyed, never to be found again. The cremators claim that they are cleaning out the garbage in hopes of relieving some of Fuli's burdens, and contributing to the Aeon's glorious work of making a pure land of memories. However, the Garden of Recollection scoffed and saw no reason for their actions, for even the smallest shard of memory in the universe has a reason to exist. No mortal has a right to judge the value of memory. I kind of agree here, I do. I tried to scam you. That's just what Sampo does. I mean, Sampo is smooth with sliding in those DMs though. He is smooth. He can scam me all day. Gosh, I'm down so bad. Morning actors, elation. I forgot what elation was, but we'll find out. They do not laugh, only cry. The more they cried, the harder I laughed. Oh, elation is aha. I'm so stupid. Not me forgetting what elation is after saying Sampo could be with aha. Or with the masked fools. Not me literally forgetting that. Did we? We didn't read about the morning actors, we only read about the masked fools earlier, right? I think so. They do not laugh, only cry. The more they cried, the harder I laughed. I laughed and laughed until tears fell down my face, and you know what morning actors did? They handed me a tissue. A masked fool with no name. I'm so interested in the masked fools. Morning actors are firm believers against elation. Huh? They believe life is full of ups and downs, that agony makes people mature, but fleeting joy only offers hopeless and unreachable temptation. Cheap entertainment is a narcotic for humans to lose themselves in. All beings should renounce joy and endure grief to temper their spirits. To this end, these people formed a theater troupe of sorrow. Interesting. Sampo is nihility though? Yes. But also that kind of is weird. But also, just because of the fourth wall break from him. After Belobog, and he talked to someone and he was like, oh, I'm so glad I didn't have to be a main character. I could just be the comedic side relief. So I don't know how much the gameplay path are lore. I don't know. But for Estelle, it seems pretty spot on, so I literally don't know. But I just feel like there are a few really good and cool hints about that he could be a part of the Masked Fool, because he was like, I hope you enjoyed this. Or if you didn't enjoy this, my heart would be broken or something like that. Like, he was all about making a good show and stuff, and that fits for the Masked Fools. Also, those are not my theory and thoughts first, but I saw a theory and then I was like, that makes a lot of sense, so now I believe that. Cause for say the nameless, we should all have the Trailblaze path. Yeah, true. Just thought he was talking to himself. The thing is, first he looked into a screen and he was definitely talking to someone. Like, I think that is pretty obvious because he said, and greet those at the tavern for me. So he talked to someone first, but then he seemed to talk to Stell or Kalos directly, because it still seemed like she dreamed about that, which is weird. But it really seemed like that was a dream, and he knew that she saw it, which is also really, really weird. So, I mean, and to the person he was addressing directly to the screen, to the players, or to Stell and Kaelas. He was like, I hope you enjoyed this, or I hope you felt joy. If you haven't, my heart would be broken. Basically, something like that and more. I just don't remember everything. Also, the person he spoke through the screen asked him if he wanted to leave or something. So he was something like, oh no, I kind of want to stay. I kind of don't want to move on yet. So we might see him later. Excited. Where was I? Right. The actors ride a gondola that spans the stars to perform. They collect and wear masks from different worlds, symbolizing the races that have passed and those that have not. At the same time, they record the sorrows of intelligent life. They compose magnificent tragedies for heroes facing their end, and sing graceful elegies for dying stars. Mourning actors advocate celibacy and penance, hoping this would go against the path of the Aeon of Elation, and dilute the sweet allure they provide to the universe. However, elation and sadness are two sides of the same coin. Their very essence is engraved into souls of all beings. The Aeon of Elation can also perceive power in the beauty of tragedy. Perhaps out of fondness for dark humor, Aha blessed these people with their power, playfully helping them cross the skies and spread their renouncement of elation across many galaxies. That's such an Aha thing to do. That is so cool. I really, really like Aha. Aha is just chaotic. The world is a joke, laughter, gift of intelligent races. And the whole thing about laughing. And Sampo, I'm sorry, I'm still stuck at Sampo. He sees himself as a comedic relief character. Like that in itself, that's so interesting. Oh, the beauty one. I am so interested in the beauty one. Also, I don't have any crack theories about the beauty one yet because I don't know anything, so that's cool. The mirror holder gazes into the mirror, but recognizes not the face staring back. Gosh, this Adrian... He wrote many, many books, huh? How old is Adrian? The legend of the mirror holders had it that the downfall of the god of beauty was an ancient metaphor symbolizing the shattering of people's views on beauty, crumbling like a collapsed tower into rubble and bricks. Is that a hint that Nanook was somehow involved? Therefore, the goal of the mirror holders takes on another significance. When conceptions of beauty are reunified, all disputes and strife will disappear. They believe the Aeon they worship will be perfect and complete again, and the universe will become whole. The same book, I think, so Adrian just had a book about the Aeons, I guess. I mean, okay, that makes sense. Maybe he studied the Aeons and stuff, so... But just like really, really interesting. This may not be a mere delusion, as the mirror holders possess a series of items named Mirrors of Transcendence. These mirrors do not reflect the material world, but instead reflect what is considered by the beholder as beauty and project that into reality. Ooh, oh my gosh. I can just imagine a planet or a city or something with a lot of mirrors and glass. That could be so cool. As the mirror holders recounted themselves, these mirrors were fragments of Idrilla's divine form. When the god of beauty died, their fragments were scattered to the cosmos. The wandering mirror holders tried their best to find clues and recapture those fragments, hoping to one day piece everything back together and let the beauty return to the world. I want us to be part of that adventure. I really want us to be there when an Aeon returns. That would be so cool. Also, the Aeon of Beauty has to be either freaking gorgeous or the opposite, which is why this Aeon is so obsessed with beauty. Which is just me being really, really already way into the lore. Goodness gracious. The Knights of Beauty, okay. If I win, please admit that Idrilla the Beauty is the most beautiful of all. Oh, so they are Sims. I can already relate. Among the legions of Idrilla's followers, the most infatuated with classical beauty formed the Knights of Beauty. They ride their faithful and dexterous mounts and chant ancient beautiful songs, as they fearlessly travel from planet to planet. and extolling the name of Idrilla to the beings of the universe. The Knights of Beauty are extremely self-disciplined. They stubbornly abide by an obsolete creed known as the Code of Chivalry. I feel like they might annoy me. Believing that only through a perfectly refined body, mind, and spirit can they become truly worthy of worshipping Idrilla. Despite their extraordinary strength, the major factions of the galaxy hold the Knights of Beauty in low regard. Warriors with only worship but little faith are but wastrels traversing the universe and cannot form a powerful force. They are probably really not strong. They are probably just really... For those of you who know League of Legends, I see Tarek in front of me when I read this. Rumor has it that the Knights of Beauty do not believe in the fall of Idrilla. They shuttle back and forth across the universe. Their source of power is still a mystery. Interesting. Oh gosh, they will probably also be hilarious to get to know. Maybe mildly annoying. History fictionologists, Enigmata. History is not mired in truth. Reality can be distorted. Oh wait, are those the ones that... Oh yeah, they are. Oh no. They destroy history and stuff. We should let the past cease to stay in the past. It only exists in the here and now, in our brains, where everyone can embellish it. The 5 Millennia Void by history fictionologist Ludokan. There is evidence that history fictionologists are a group of emanators that were enlightened by Aeons. Wait, what? A group of emanators. They often plunge into the sea of stars alone, traveling planet to planet with the sole purpose of fabricating, obscuring, destroying, and erasing the local history. This group, the whole group of the people that destroy history and change it, are a nightmare for everyone that loves reading about lore, because do we know if everything here is true? No, we don't. History fictionologists believe that the past determines the future. When a civilization's history is definite, its future development is doomed as all possibilities are eliminated, leaving only a sad and rigid path forward. In order to save these worlds from the sad fate of objectivity, history fictionologists consider the Enigmata as their only creed and are determined to shroud the universe in mystery. History fictionologists carry out their mission of destroying history alone and decisively, with an elevated altruism that is difficult to comprehend. Their views are poorly understood by most, and their blatant hatred of objective facts is somewhat extreme. Many worlds are beginning to realize the irreversible, intangible damage that these emanators of Enigmata have caused to culture. Across the galaxy, history fictionologists have a reputation comparable to that of the Antimatter Legion. Wow! The Intelligentsia Guild has publicly denounced them. The Antimatter Legion destroys matter, but the history fictionologists destroy the very universe itself. Oh, this is exciting. They are doing bad things, but also really interesting. Because, I mean, in a way, we always say history repeats itself, right? But is it because we know what happened, or is it not? Like, all of these views, there are so many different views. Record stamp. In view of the fact that this entry has been edited with unknown attribution, it is hereby declared that this entry is inapplicable to any reference and will no longer be updated. Oh. Wait, so maybe they were already here. That is... that is so good. And now the Riddlers. We already read about Baden Babybalo Bala, because I was way too interested. The Arbitrators. Good medicine tastes bitter, sweet honey causes harm, balance begets choice, and choice breeds freedom. I love a game that is kind of challenging the player in a way, because I mean, to play the main story, you don't have to do that. Like, you don't have to put your brain through all of that. But for those that want to, they can, and they are getting something out of it. And I think that's really cool. I really like that. I did read this. Or did I? Yeah, I remember. Okay. Oh my gosh, we're through. Okay, we read through all of the Aeons and the factions. That's definitely it for the database for today.